PR disaster, really, for the Murdochs.
Yeah, they don't seem to have got a grip of this story. Events have unfolded around them at a pace which they haven't been able to anticipate. And now we're stuck with the situation of the Murdochs appearing in front of Parliament today, really having to give a very humble apology at the time that Rupert Murdoch needs to be demonstrating leadership and strength.
So will he give... It seems we understand that actually within the company, people are very worried about the questioning today and how Rupert Murdoch will actually handle. You say he should really go in and almost apologise to the nation.
Well, we can see the messages that News International has been giving out recently in these full-page advertisements, the apologies he's given to Dowler families. So it feels like he is trying to progress a story where he admits error, he admits fault. Parliament aren't going to give him an easy time, though.
What about James Murdoch? I mean, you cast your mind back and it makes you think of Tony Hayward almost and his disaster appearing in front of US lawmakers. Will they be able to hold it together and actually apologise? Or, do you know their personalities? How are they going to come across?
Well, I think it's very difficult. You've got leading business people who need to show that they are contrite and humble at the very time that they need to look like they're in control of a story which is really unfolded around them at a pace which they haven't been able to anticipate. If you go back to shutting the title of the News of the World just over a week ago, that was a huge gesture to make. But at that time, it sort of like feels like now they can't do enough to actually make compensation for the story.
And I wonder whether it was a PR disaster to shut down, but on the day of the announcement, actually going out to dinner with Rebekah Brooks at Mayfair. And it's these little things which I guess the people have difficulty in understanding exactly who they are.
This is where I think it's been handled clumsily. So shutting News of the World was a nuclear option. That was an amazing thing to do. Then to go out for dinner. Then even down to small things about having shots of him taken with his fitness trainer, where he just wasn't really looking in that great shape. So it's been a tough week.
Do you expect James Murdoch to have to step down?
I think it's difficult to say at the moment. A lot will hinge on how he comes through today and how well he comes across. But it's very difficult to judge, what would be regarded as a success for him today. Is a humbling apology truly a success for someone who needs to be seen as a leading business person?
You manage brands. How would you manage today the Murdoch brand?
Well, to a degree, the story of crisis management, you admit fault, you tell people what you're doing to put that fault right, and you continue talking about that until you get trust back. We can see that it's taken a while for News Corp, News International to be admitting fault to a degree that the public feel comfortable with that fault. We're still waiting for them to talk about what they're going to do that puts things right and whether they're actually in control of that or whether press standards will take it from them.
Graham, I just guess the problem is it's whether the trust back needs to be for the company and the corporation or whether it actually needs to be on the Murdochs themselves. And if it's on the Murdochs, it's going to be much more difficult to achieve.
Well, this is also where they've become such strong personalities that it's not just about them, it's about the titles which they have as well. The fact that all of them are now becoming stained by this makes it very difficult to really control the story.
Are we going to see more closures or anything like that, more radical action?
I think it's difficult to say that because we can see the News of the World has actually left a gap in the marketplace. Whilst it had been stained and sullied, you can see that there's unfulfilled place in that market for people who want that type of news. So there's certainly going to be more products appearing there, but how those products make themselves and how those products have the right systems in place to ensure we don't enter back into these scandals is going to be one to watch.
Yeah. All right, Graham, thank you so much. Will you be watching the testimony?
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm sure. Graham Hales, thank you so much, CEO there of Interbrand. Now,